Hi guys, Danielle here. So let's try this for a second time. I have attempted to make this video several times. Now you're going to hear my kiddo in the background. He's 1, so he doesn't quite understand. And it's just me and him alone. So I was not going to leave him alone in another room. So I thought I'd share with you I decided to tell you guys about my neurological disorder to sound. It's a neurological disorder with it's visual, sound, and touch. A lot of times people can associate food texture with that same disorder, but so it's the biggest trigger for me is snoring, chewing with your mouth open, like make smacking sounds, the sound of macaroni and cheese mixing, you know, things like that, tapping, breathing heavily for long periods of time, anything like that. So, I was in my therapist's office waiting to go back to see my therapist, and this lady comes in. Now, I take my son with me to therapy because I don't really have anybody that can watch him. So I took him with me to my therapy appointment. He was watching a video on his phone, well, on my phone, but it was really quiet, the video. And there's one other person, you know, across the way, silent, right? Making no noise. So, this lady comes in, and she sits down. Well, first she goes to the window, and she checks in, explains, you know, I haven't slept in a month and a half, you know, things like of that nature. So she's kind of angry. Okay. Now, for me, when my neurological disorder is triggered, I get angry. I get irritated and mad, and I just want all the sound to stop, and my brain starts to shut down. Like, I can't handle too much of it. Let me also explain, with this disorder, if I'm making the sounds, it doesn't bother me as much. It still bothers me, just not as much. So, back to my story. This lady comes in, and right away, she's breathing heavily. Like, let me show you. Mind you, she is not a heavy person. She was fairly small, so she was not heavy. She didn't have an oxygen mask. There was no oxygen supplying her breathing, nothing. Then she starts adding to the heavy breathing. She starts mumbling. So now it's really. Now, I know she cannot help it, or she couldn't help it, but, okay. So, this same lady, okay? This same woman then pulls out her phone, all right? And her phone has the volume up. And this is all you hear. I was like, really? So it's click, 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 and then on top of the clicking, her heavy breathing is still going, so it's okay. Then she gets on the phone and proceeds to talk on the phone loudly, all right? And she's talking on the phone, and she's loud, and she's still breathing that way. I'm like, how? Okay, all right, let's get past that. So she's still clicking on her phone. She's still breathing heavily, and then she decides to pull out a cup of water. Not a cup of water, I'm sorry, like a plastic bottle, okay? You're probably thinking, well, what's wrong with the plastic bottle? This bottle had ice in it. And she's shaking it, like, and then she's still breathing heavily while shaking this bottle. Ugh. So I'm doing everything I can to keep calm. I'm looking at the clock, seeing when my appointment's coming up, and everything else. And then while all of this is happening, she's rapidly shaking her legs. Let me tell you something. At that point, I had to get up and leave because I was getting angry and I was going to say something, but I knew she probably could not help it. As I was getting up, she got called back. Oh, thank you, heavens. Like, I was this close to snapping. But I didn't, because I knew she could not help herself. I don't understand. If she would have pulled out a snack and started chewing really loudly, boy, that would have been the end of it. Anyways, hope you enjoyed my story, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye.